Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. This technique is using masking tape. It's called the faux leather technique. And all you're going to do is take just an ordinary piece of card, doesn't really matter what colour it is, and you're going to stick masking tape all over it until the whole lot is completely full. Just tear them off randomly, stick them down anywhere you want. Make sure you cover all the bits up and make sure that they're well stuck down. Okay, and continue until the whole sheet is covered. So once you've got your whole sheet covered with the bits of masking tape, make sure they're all stuck down well. You can use a brayer if you've got one and just run it over all the bits just to make sure that they're all in place. And then you're going to take your distressing inks. I think we'll use a mahogany one. So these are my little blenders. It tells you on the website how to make these for yourself. And all you're going to do is just go over the masking tape with your distress inks. And you're going to continue doing this until they're all covered. Okay, don't worry about the edges because you're going to trim the edges off once you've completed all this. So just carry on, cover the whole sheet with your distressing inks. So once it's all covered, you need to trim it down to the size that you want for your card. Once you've got it all to the size that you want, you can now just come in and do the edges. So again, with your blending tool, just do the edges. Work off the mat and onto the edge of your card and blend in all the edges around as you go. If you want to deepen the colour, you can go over everything again. So the next stage is to emboss the leather look. It just gives it a little bit of protection. So I'm just going to go over it with a Versamark pad. Make sure it's all covered. And then once you're happy with that, you're going to sprinkle it with your embossing powder. Okay, put a sheet of paper underneath it to collect your embossing powder and sprinkle the powder all over it. You've done that, I'm then going to just tip the powder off. And if you look, it's quite dull at the moment. Make a little crease in your paper and tip it back into your jar. Ready to be used again. And then all you're going to do is just heat emboss the card. Keep your gun still in one place until it starts to melt. Don't waft it around all over the place. And once the powder starts to melt, you can move it to another area. And you can just see the powder starting to change. Now this is just to show you the difference. One half is embossed and the other half isn't. So if you can just see the difference, I'm going to go ahead now and heat the other half. So there it is now, all embossed and ready to be used on your card. So this is one I made earlier and it's all quite dry now. I've trimmed it down to the size that I wanted and it leaves just a border around the edge of the card. I've cut myself a little border punched edge which I'm going to stick to the card. And again, we'll use some wet glue to stick it on. And round there I'm going to add some ribbon. So on the back of it I've already added some double-sided tape. So we'll just place the ribbon on where we want it on the card. And we'll just trim the ribbon back. So that's the ribbon now stuck in place. And again, with the wet glue, I'm just going to add this to the front of the card. Okay, just press that into place. And there's your level look effect. Now, on a previous video we covered faux tile effect, and this is an image that I used to make the faux tile effect, but I haven't embossed it. All I've done is distressed the actual image itself, and if you can see, it just shows the tile effect coming through. Okay, the image has been mounted onto a Spellbinders die cut shape, and just to raise it up from the card a little bit, you can use foam pads, or I'm just going to use some shaker tape. So I'm just going to put 3 pieces along the back of it. Oops. And then add that to the front of the card. Okay, there she is. So to finish off, I've added a bow to the ribbon. I've put some shaker tape or foam pads to the back of a sentiment, which I'm going to add at the bottom of the card. And then, as usual, we will add some bling. So just to the top, I'm just going to add some gemstones this time. And I think we'll put 3 more down here at the bottom. Put some smaller ones at the bottom. Not really the kind of card to add flowers to, I don't think. But there's the finished card. This is another one with the faux leather technique. This is a little bit more of a masculine card. And the faux leather is at the back.